Enough is enough. You've been playing Rocket League for thousands of hours and you're hard stuck. Let me tell you why you're not ranking up. It's because you can't triple flip reset. I'm kidding. In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 habits that I personally use to get the highest rank in Rocket League, but I'm not gonna mention a mechanic a single time on this list because I don't see how that's helpful at all if I just told you, hey, learn a double flip reset and you can rank up. If you're wondering, Dice, who are you? Why should we even listen to you? That's a great question. Number 1, my name's Dice. I'm a top 100 SSL most of the time, or at least when I'm playing the game. What's different about me though is I don't need, 120, 90 hours past 2 weeks to get SSL. I play the game one time a season, which is at the very beginning, and I get all my SSL rewards within the first day or two, which it's the absolute hardest then because that's when all the pros get reset to lower rank. So I'm pretty much beating pros. And if you guys actually want to see me beating the pros, I'll put that in the description of this video as well. But I play once a season for about 8 hours. So I play once every 3 or 4 months for 8 hours in total. And I do that every season and I'm still getting the highest rank. So what I do on this channel is I try to teach people how to be as efficient as possible with as little time as possible so that you don't have to spend your entire day playing Rocket League just to rank up. I don't think that's worth it. I think you should be able to rank up and do other things in life. So let's get into the video. Number 1, warm up every single time you play. When I'm talking about warming up, I don't mean just going into your first rank game and counting that as your warm up. Rocket League isn't really forgiving when it comes to sloppy starts. Those first few minutes are crucial, and if you're not prepared mentally and mechanically, you're going to miss open nets. You're going to set a bad tone for the rest of your session, because if you start really bad, you might even get tilted at the beginning, and then you could just go on a huge loss streak, and that would kind of just ruin everything. Warming up before every time you play eliminates that risk, and the goal with warming up isn't just to stretch your fingers. It's about, priming your muscle memory, making sure you're having good touches, making sure reaction time's good, making sure you're playing good. Some days when I'm going to play ranked and I notice I'm playing bad, I just don't even play because I can just tell if I'm going to lose if I'm having a really bad day. And if you just figure out you're going to have a bad day when you're already in a ranked game, you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. Number 2, camera settings. This is one of the most overlooked aspects of the game by players who are stuck in the lower ranks. Oftentimes when I'm coaching someone, I say, let me take a look at your camera settings, and they show me the worst camera settings I have ever seen, and it literally makes their game 50% worse because you can't see the same thing you would be able to see with more optimal camera settings. I'm not saying to just go and copy pros camera settings because camera settings are personal preference to an extent, but if you have really, really bad camera settings, you're really just hurting yourself in the long run. And I actually have a camera settings video, shameless plug. I'll put that in the description. And that video isn't me just saying copy my camera settings. It kind of is me going in depth on what playstyles you should have if you have certain camera settings, etc., etc. It just gives you like a whole guide on how to know what camera settings to have. Number 3, positioning. This is where most players fall apart, and it's probably the most difficult thing on this list to actually have as a habit, because you want to study positioning when you're in the lower ranks. It's not really something that you can just autopilot and have it as a habit. But everyone thinks Rocket League is all about mechanics. But at the highest levels, it's all about being in the right place at the right time. And you'll see high-ranked players using mechanics, but it really isn't about that. They can only pull off those mechanics because of the positions they put themselves in. And here's the reality. If you're always chasing the ball, you're doing it wrong. Stop trying to be the hero that makes every touch, ball chasing, trying to carry your teammate. Positioning is what allows you to make impactful plays without overcommitting, without putting yourself or your teammates in bad situations. It's all about understanding when to push forward, when to rotate back, when to support your teammates. You don't need to be the player who's constantly in the spotlight. Sometimes the most crucial plays happen off the ball. Maybe it's cutting off an opponent's passing lane or positioning yourself for the next challenge. Maybe it's giving your teammate the space to make a play while you stay ready to cover the net. These are the moments where games are won. When you master positioning, you're no longer just reacting to what's happening in the moment. You're anticipating the next few plays. You're putting yourself in positions where you can affect the game without taking unnecessary risks. And trust me, positioning will win you more games than any single flashy mechanic you could ever learn. Number 4, your mindset. More specifically, how to reset mentally when you're having an off day or you're just losing a lot of games. We've all been there. I'm not perfect. I've missed open nets. You've missed open nets. A teammate whiffs a save, whatever. Suddenly the game starts spiraling out of control. They just get a lot of goals. It's so easy to let that frustration take over and just start tilting. But here's the thing. Tilt loses games, not mechanics. The ability to mentally reset after a mistake, no matter how big or small, is a habit that will transform the way you play. Rocket League is a really fast game and mistakes are inevitable. The difference between a good player and a great player is how they handle these moments. When you let one mistake get into your head, you start playing worse, making riskier decisions, ball chasing more, going for bad challenges, and you're more likely to overcommit, trying to make up for it. So how do you mentally reset? First, acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and move on. Take a deep breath, refocus, and remind yourself that the game isn't over. There's always time to turn things around, and that starts by staying calm and making smart decisions moving forward. Don't let your emotions dictate how you play. Stay in control, and remember, the only things you can affect are things that you have control over. If your teammate's missing saves or whatever, what can you even do about that? Quick chat them? That's just going to make them play even worse. And once you understand this, you'll not only perform better, but you'll make better decisions in those high pressure moments when your head is in the right place. And your mindset is just as important as your mechanics, in my opinion, way more. But finally, the fifth habit is something that most players completely ignore: learning from your losses. You can easily play hundreds of games and never improve if you're not reflecting on what went wrong. Sure, it feels good to rewatch your highlight reels and your best clips, but the real value comes from studying your losses. Every time you lose, that's an opportunity to learn. Go back, watch the replay, break it down, look at your positioning and your decision making and your mechanics. What could you have done differently? Were you out of position? Did you make the wrong play? These are questions you need to be asking yourself if you want to improve. That's all I have for you guys in this video. If you guys found this video helpful in any way, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what you thought of this video. Also, feel free to comment what kind of videos you guys would like to see in the future. Also, I have a Discord server. I'll have the link in the description. You guys can join the server, and it's pretty much the best way to message me directly. I'm active on there. You guys can, message me, I ask for advice, just whatever you need. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you. I'll see you on the next one.